On that mountain peak up high. Yeah, I made it. What's going on, guys? Disorderly Product News. We're out here at Grand and Pulaski. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Grand and Pulaski. Yo, New Mexican citizen, you're always first. Oh no, they're getting the car. We can't. They seen me coming. Now they want to let them go. These guys said they saw me coming and they had to leave. They let them go real quick. What's going on, buddy? What happened there? You want to talk about what happened?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, you rolled down your window and said hi. Well, that's what you do. You roll it back up. Not the smartest tool in the shed. Not the sharpest crayon in the box, are you? So you rolled down the window and said hi, and then said, "I don't want to talk about it." Well, then you're in the wrong. Did I not tell you that's what was going to happen? How can I not call it? I can call it. So he's standing there. They don't have their lights on. They're blocking a lane of traffic. Did I not tell you he was going to do that? I titled this video before I even came up here, and I knew he was going to do that. So the guy in the back has the window slightly cracked. They can hear everything I'm saying, but they're pretending like they can't. The guy in the passenger seat just staring straight ahead like he can't. He doesn't know what's going on. Yep, no, yeah, he was feeling awkward. He was feeling awkward. Yeah, there you go. Hold it the other way. I'm telling you. Those Chicago police, especially those are the jump out boys. And there was 3 of them in the car. Those are the certified headbusters. They do not want a camera on them. I knew they were not going to be happy when I walked up. Yeah, just had to call him out. He rolls down his window and he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "You want to tell me what's going on?" And they're lucky because they had those 2 kids out. If I was a half a step quicker. Damn it. If I would have caught him right in the middle, because those guys were, I don't know. But if you showed me 3 groups of police officers from all around the country, whether they're sheriffs or federal police, and then you showed me Chicago jump out boys, and you said who's most likely to violate people's rights. So the jump out boys are guys that they're plain clothes and they're in. That is not an undercover car. That's an unmarked car, right? They have municipal plates, which means it's an M plate, right? And they're all the same, and they got the two spotlights on either side of the car. And they have 3 people in the car, and they're out. They're narcotics officers, gang officers. They're tactical officers. In other words, they have a very specific type of thing they're looking for. They're looking for guns. They're looking for drugs. They're looking for gang members. So they're not trying to give you seatbelt tickets. So that's why in the famous seatbelt stop, which happened 2 blocks that way. Actually, I'll show you exactly where that famous seatbelt stop happened, where me and Operasano were going after it across the roof. And I'm like, she's like, "You don't know the law." And I'm like, "I do. You're violating my 4th Amendment." I'm like, "Do you know what the 4th Amendment is?" She goes, "Yes, I do." I go, "What is it?" She goes, "I don't have to tell you." I go, "What is it?" She goes, "I don't have to tell you." I said, "Unreasonable search and seizure." You remember that tape? That happened right here. Right here. In the middle of the day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It happened right here. I almost got shot because they wanted to search my car. So when I seen them pull me over, they're plain clothes. They're narcotics officers. They're vice squad officers. They're not giving people seatbelt tickets. So what it's called is a pretextual stop, and the Supreme Court has already ruled on this. If they have a reason for pulling you over, they can pull you over. But Their reason legally for pulling me over was they said I didn't wear my seatbelt, but that's not what they were looking for. They were trying to get in my car the whole time. That's when they made up the story about thinking I threw something underneath my passenger seat, which now, to get in my car, they have to believe two elements. They have to satisfy two elements. They have to believe, one, that I'm armed. Now, everybody in America knows that's really all they have to satisfy, because but tell me any police officer that is in contact with you, that has you at a traffic stop and believes you're armed, and says, "Oh, I don't think he's dangerous, let him keep the gun on him." No, that's not. No, as soon as they think you're armed, it's a wrap. You know, there's no, in the law it says they have to satisfy two elements: that you're armed and that you're willing to use it against them, that you're dangerous. Now, that's what they were trying to say in that video. But if you watch that video, police are trained. You've all seen how they approach a car when they believe the gentleman in the car has a gun. And it's not coming right up to their passenger window, perpendicular passenger window, putting every single major organ you have right in their passenger window, or driver's side window. It's not taking their ID and holding it with both hands and looking down at it, taking your eyes completely off me. And when you think I have a gun or another weapon that I could use against you, like that's not what happens. They stand behind you on an angle with their hand on their gun. His hand never went close to his gun. I'm double the size of him. So they just use that. There's two things officers can use when they're not honest about trying to get in your car. I smell weed, or I think you just hit a gun, or a knife, or some kind of weapon, normally a gun. Because my camera cannot pick up the scent of weed. No, I don't smoke weed. You can lock me inside a warehouse full of it. None of it would be gone by the time you came. If you left me in there for 10 years, none of it would be gone. I can't stand it. It makes me feel like I'm losing my mind. It makes me paranoid. But yeah. So, anyways, everyone reaches their documents when they're stopped. Yeah. I mean, no, and I didn't reach for my documents. I put my hand in my phone for my. I put my hand in my pocket for my phone. So please don't have any different eyes than you do. However your head moves to put your hand in your pocket in a seated position, my head didn't have to move that much. My head doesn't have to move to get my phone out of my pocket. But it's a pretextual stop, so they took any little thing that they saw and they just added on to it, because their whole goal the whole time was to get into my car. But watch them. You can say that you believe I have that I'm armed and dangerous, but nothing about the way you're acting believes your life is in danger. His hand never goes towards his gun. He puts both his hands on my car and leans against it. This is a guy who thinks I'm gonna up on him. You know, come on. And that's why they didn't show up for court, and that's why I beat him. And not only that, the female officer knew who I was, right? She was Italian. I'm Italian. To find out if I was, so she knew who I was the whole time, because there was literature in my back seat that had my last name on. So she knew who I was the whole time, and she still pulled that on me, which is ridiculous, you know. Then calling around and saying whatever. Doberman, Beagles, hi, what's up, my two Beagles? Yeah, I wish I had better stuff for you right then. But I knew those guys were not gonna go. I knew me being by myself and three of them being in the car, you could see that they didn't even want to leave. They didn't even want to leave. There's a cop right behind me now too. They didn't even want to leave. As far as you say, they were just sitting there, and the guy in the back had his window cracked slightly. Now, he didn't think that I realized he had his window cracked, so they were just listening to what I was saying when I was talking to you. They could not give themselves the nerve to leave. They wanted to get out and try and prove some kind of authority, you know, because how dare you videotape them. He rolled his window down and he goes, "What do you want?" I don't know. You rolled your window down to talk to me. So, anyways, go back and watch the beginning of that. But I'm gonna leave you guys on this until this this 5 Jilla behind me. I'm gonna turn and park right here, because he's just gonna wait for some kind of me to make some kind of mistake and pull me over, right? If they look hard enough, they're gonna find something. But I apologize. Anyways, guys, I got a big announcement. Something very, very sad happened. But I'm not going to give up. I'm sure you guys won't give up when I tell you about it. But I had to figure out how I'm going to word it. Somebody that's been on my channel and has been around my channel that you guys know. He's a Chicago activist. He participated in, I gotta think about how I gotta word it, but he's in a federal detention facility right now, not for anything for what the United States government says. What the United States government says he did is in the Bill of Rights. Besides that, but you guys know who he is, and they gave him no bond because they played his YouTube videos in court and tried to make it seem like he was this dissident who was they just painted him. Murderers get a bond. It's almost impossible not to get a bond, but what are you gonna do? And he's got 2 kids and a wife. I don't know. But I do have to thank Ron R. Ron R is a fan of mine, and he has a daughter named Miranda who's 11, who says I have or Reagan has a voice for radio. She donated $50 to me yesterday on my PayPal. He is a big supporter of mine. Ron R. Shout out. I went and I put that on my man's books, so he had some money in there for and try and figure out what the strategy is, because he's got a public defender. And listen, if you don't, there's no lawyer that's going to care more about your case than you. If you're expecting this public defender to beat this case with no outside help or care enough, that's just never going to happen. So I mean, I know what the charge is. I just got to figure out the elements of the charge, what they have to prove, what are the things that they have to prove to get a conviction. And then I got to, look up case law and look up different what people who had similar cases, what defenses they used that were tried to get a little something going with those 5-0, the Jump Out boys. But they wanted no part of DPN. They do want a part of DPN, but they thought better of it. Anyways, if I see something else, I will call you back. I'm gonna put up together something tonight. I'm doing a mail time video. I got some mail, and I want to share it with you guys. So I will be back on, or I'll do a static video tonight or tomorrow morning. And I'm doing the video. Everyone always asks me to do the video of the time I made the cop cry in the stand. And I don't feel good about making a cop cry in the stand, but it is what it is. And everybody always asks me to release that video. So I finally am going to release it. I got the people that were there at the time with me, and I got them to talk about it, and I'm going to release that. My email is constitutionalkevlar@gmail.com. And I'm going to, for this guy, for this auditor, for this activist, I'm gonna have you guys just write emails and I'll send them. I don't know that he's comfortable with everybody having it. I'm sure he doesn't care about you guys having his name, but giving it to you gives it to everybody, and not everybody is on the same. I don't know that he's comfortable with everybody having it. I'm sure he doesn't care about you guys having his name, but giving it to you gives it to everybody, and not everybody is on the same team. So it's a hint. Okay, if you ever watched the video, The Tyrant of 12, he's the guy that got upset because Officer Soto was parked in the crosswalk. So go watch The Tyrant of 12. No, it's not Joe Cool. The Tyrant of 12. That's the name of the video. The Tyrant of 12 in pink letters with Officer Soto there. He's the guy that got mad that she parked in front of the crosswalk, and he said, you got to set a good example for these citizens. And I will be back. All right, guys. No, it's not Joe Cool.